Welcome to the sixth installment of Most Gentrified Neighborhoods, and boy, did I have a hard time deciding the 5 neighborhoods in DC, as nearly the entire city has undergone rapid development. I had the privilege of exploring DC recently on foot, and I was kinda blown away. Also, the Metro has got to be the most underrated mass transit system in the country. So much cleaner and spacious than the subway in New York. I think it's normal to only envision the National Mall, White House, and the Capitol when you think about DC, but DC is so much more. There are over 130 neighborhoods in the District of Columbia, and actually had the highest percentage of gentrified neighborhoods of any city in the nation between 2000 and 2013, according to a new study by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition. Gentrification in the district started accelerating in the early 2000s when then-Mayor Anthony Williams set a goal of reversing decades of population decline. The district then implemented neighborhood investment strategies that would in turn attract new residents. Washington, D.C.'s population steadily increased between 2000 and 2020, growing by over 120,000 residents. The median home value has gone from $445,000 in 2015 to $625,000 in 2023. With all that said, it is still a tremendous value compared to the high cost of living in Boston or New York City. Now let's explore the top 5 neighborhoods in DC that have experienced the most gentrification since the early 2000s. The first neighborhood we're going to feature is Shaw. Located in the northwest quadrant, Shaw is a major entertainment and retail hub, and much of the neighborhood is designated as a historic district. The U Street corridor has historically been the city's hub for African American social, cultural, and economic life, colloquially known as the Harlem of DC. Primarily a residential neighborhood dominated by 19th century Victorian row houses, the architecture of these houses, Shaw's central location, and the stability of DC's housing market were the ingredients that enabled the transformation of the area. As for the most notable developments, you have City Market at O, which features residential units and a giant food grocery store, revitalizing the historic O Street Market area. Atlantic Plumbing has luxury apartments and a movie theater, contributing to the neighborhood's urban renewal. You have the Shea, more apartments and office space, the renovation and restoration of the historic Howard Theater, once a hub of African-American culture, into a music venue and entertainment complex. You had the revitalization of a historic alley featuring adaptive reuse of old buildings and new construction for residential and commercial spaces at Blagden Alley. How about the redevelopment of the Wonder Bread factory? This one's pretty awesome. And finally, the construction of Cambria Hotel, offering accommodations for visitors to Shaw. If you take the very next metro station heading north on the Green Line, you run into Columbia Heights. It was developed as a suburb after the American Civil War. In 1999, so we're skipping a lot of time here, the city announced a revitalization initiative for the neighborhood which focused around the Columbia Heights Metro Station. The opening of the Metro Station served as a catalyst for the return of economic development and residents. As for those notable developments, you have DC USA, a massive retail and residential complex with a Target and Best Buy. You have several multifamily apartments adding to the area's growth and urban renewal like Kenyon Square, the Ellington, Columbia Uptown. And while not a new development, the historic Tivoli Square and Theater has undergone revitalization efforts to enhance the commercial appeal of the neighborhood. And as you stroll through those residential streets of Columbia Heights, you'll find numerous renovation projects and new townhome builds. Neighborhood number 3, H Street Corridor, which is used as an alternative name for the near northeast neighborhood, as H Street is the neighborhood's main commercial strip. An eclectic community nestled near Capitol Hill and Union Market, it's known for its locally owned spots. It's a little surprised that the H Street Corridor has been recognized by national publications as a neighborhood in revival. And as it continues to develop, its annual neighborhood festival has grown into the largest celebration in the city. As for some notable developments here, check out this giant mixed-use development in the heart of H Street, the Apollo. Similarly, you have the Maryland, an apartment offering modern amenities, and the H Street Connection was a project that brought new retail and residential spaces, as well as improved streetscape features to H Street. With all the development, naturally, there has been an influx of new builds and renovation projects to all the beautiful old housing stock. Moving on to Navy Yard. Navy Yard is a neighborhood on the Anacostia River in southeast Washington, D.C. A major spur to redevelopment was a requirement by the Navy that contractors locate offices within a short distance of the Navy Yard. Therefore, the construction of the Department of Transportation office complex and Nationals Ballpark in 2008 have stimulated growth in the neighborhood. These developments, along with the Yard's multi-phase, large-scale project transforming a former industrial land into a mixed-use community and waterfront access. You got the District Winery for event space, and all these brand new luxury apartments like the Aris, One Hill South, Dock 79 with scenic views of the river, 1221 Van, and finally the Bower. And the last neighborhood we'll feature is Logan Circle, which is a historic roundabout park and neighborhood located in Northwest DC. It has become one of Washington's most expensive neighborhoods, also known as one of DC's most prominent gay neighborhoods. You have a beautiful hotel, the Washington Marriott Marquis, adjacent to the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. Plenty of mixed-use projects like the Colonel, Logan 13, the Alston, and the Luis Apartments. I could have easily included the neighborhoods of Noma, Adams Morgan, or Capitol Hill, amongst others. I do recognize there is a racial component to gentrification, especially in DC, but I'm opting not to focus on that, and we'll save that discussion for videos down the road. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more riveting content from Cities for People.